direct line of sight to what is left of the World Trade Center. The fire continues to burn. I can see the flames through the thick smoke.
Battalion 1 to Chief Calvin. Follow the chief.
By this time, Chief Pfeiffer had found a safe exit and tried to radio the men in the lobby. No answer.
So we walked across the bridge back towards the Trade Center. Still trying to call on the radio and not getting through.
The guys that we had left there, they're not there anymore.
They had already gone out another way, carrying the body of Father Michael Judge down the street to St. Peter's Church. They laid his body on the altar. The chief, his aide Eddie Fahey, and Jules walked outside, underneath the footbridge they just crossed, and into a scene that none of them could even comprehend.
And there's debris everywhere. There's dust covering the entire place. And we look, and the tower's here. So we say, okay, probably to something else. The tower is nice, it's standing. The other one, we can't see it, but it's probably just, you know, on the other side, and no one tells us. We have no clue.
Where the Trade Center was just covered with smoke. And that's not unusual for a fire to have a building disappear behind the smoke. And then was it just a sense that this wasn't a good place to stay.
So we walk north.
Just trying to figure out what took place here, and then try to gain some control. So we started to rebuild some sort of structure.
We got everybody out of the lobby. It was in the lobby.
Chief Pfeiffer's priority was to set up a new command post and find his men. Right now, they were coming down the stairs.
At some point, I started to run. I don't even know if I was touching stairs on my way down. When I got about to 3 or 2 is when I started to think of my family, you know. So I got to get out of here.
When we got out to the lobby, it was unbelievable. Nobody was around the command station. There was nobody at the command station. It looked like the end of the world.
I joked about it. I said the command post was abandoned. The board was set up and nobody was there. I said, oh, this is not a good sign.
I knew there was nothing I could really do. I mean, I was not a fireman. I had absolutely no medical expertise at all. As just a civilian. But as a cameraman, yeah, there was something I could do. And it was to document what was happening. So the cameraman took over, just film.
Gideon had made his way as close to the tower as he could.
Strange enough, I kept the only thing that was my preoccupation was to clean my lens. I don't know if it was a way for me to try to focus on something so I can stay away from the horror of the reality, but that was just my obsession, was saying my lens needs to be cleaned.
Jules was with Chief Pfeiffer, who was plotting his next move. The firefighters from my house had reached the lobby and scattered.
You know, kind of walking at this point. We knew we were out of the building, felt we were safe.
Unfortunately, there were people jumping out of windows. You could see them hitting the ground all around you, debris hitting the ground.
I thought we was going to get out the building, the chiefs will meet up, then we come up with a plan, and then we go back in. That's what I thought it would be something like.
Just before I walked out, a fireman out in the middle of the street was yelling at me, wait, wait, throwing up his hands. And that time I waited, and there was a big thud, and then another thud, and there was two people who had fallen or jumped from way high up.
Get yourself accounted for with Chief Tory down at staging. Let's move. Come on, officers.
Basically, everybody was standing right in the shadow of Tower 1. It was 10:28 in the morning.
And then comes that sound again. And I don't even have time to think at that point. I just run. And it's dead silence. There's nothing. No radio calls, no sound, nothing. And I feel the person who was on top of me get up.
Get out of here. You with me? Yeah.
And I recognize it's Chief Pfeiffer's voice. And I just realized it's just, you know, it jumped on top of me to protect me from all this. Chief Pfeiffer said, okay, let's go now. And we get up. The dust starts to clear because the wind was blowing in the opposite direction.
After that, it was just trying to literally walk around the block and regroup and walk back to the scene and see what we could do.
Less than a block away, Gideon was still in darkness.
The pounding stopped, and you realize now that you just can't breathe anymore.
We need help! Let's go before the car blow up! This way! Let's go before the cars blow up!
At that point, I realized that I was going to die.
Let's go! We're over here behind the issue truck! This way! Keep shouting! Right here! Come to the truck! Come on, we gotta get out of here. Let's go! You gotta... You gotta fucking move, man. This way!
And the only thing I could think about, it was Jules. And I remember telling myself that if I would survive that, I would be a better brother.
Yeah, let's go, you can make it. Help him! Quickly, it's right here.
He weighs 400 pounds, dude. You get over here.
Hey, we're not going to leave here.
He's not standing. You need to come over here and fucking help.
The last person Gideon had filmed was now lying in the middle of the street.
Grab his leg.
Buddy, where's it up?
This guy must have been standing outside in the street when everything collapsed. And he survived it.
And with the help of an FBI agent, he walked him to safety.
And we can't see a thing.
You have to walk, sir. You have to walk. You're almost there. Almost there. Come on. Yeah.
And he would pass out every second, so it was very difficult to carry him.
Thank you. No. Moses! Shit. Do you have some water? Something to drink? Thanks.
Open your mouth, because I need the water too. Put it out.
Thanks.
I had been in this street 3 times in the last hour. The first time, it was full of people. The second time, everybody was running away from it. And the third time, getting out of the last collapse, there was just nobody. And everything was white. Everything was covered by the dust.
Holy shit.
It was the most surreal scene I have ever seen. I cannot describe what took place.
It is a scene just not to be believed. The smoke's still billowing. What we do have is a lockdown. You can't get in, you can't get out, you can't go up, you can't go down.
I see that I'm still in the middle of the street, and I see there is a little deli. It seems to be open in the corner.
Yeah, we're getting O2 now. Oh, okay. Hey, guys.
A lot of people injured. Firefighters, bloody nose, things like that. And then it hits me. But now, where's my brother?
Go back here.
I start realizing that I've probably lost my brother. So I try to go back to the World Trade Center. I need to go find my brother.
Where are the guys?
I have no idea. I was with Chief Pfeiffer.
And I'm in the middle of the street walking, and a cop approached me and says, you know, who are you with?
I'm with the chief of with Battalion 1.
Oh, you're Battalion 1? You got ID?
I have my letter of, from the commissioner.
Take your letter and your camera and get out of here. All right? Go.
So I go back up, walk north, not really knowing where I'm going.
No, I'm making a documentary on the fire department.
Come on, this ain't fucking Disneyland. Let's go.
And after a while, I said, you know, there's nothing I can do here. I need to go back to the firehouse. Maybe they'll have some news. And maybe he's already back there. But at that point, I think he's dead. And it becomes too overwhelming.
walking back to the firehouse, and not trying to think for 1 second about Jules. That was too much.
Don't worry, honey. We'll stand.
Everyone's asking me, what happened, what happened? I said, hell. Hell is what happened.
It just came down, and it wasn't supposed to come down.
Very emotional. A lot of guys are crying. I'm crying.
Where the fuck are you? I couldn't get back in. They won't let me up. Well, leave the oxygen there. Pull it off, man.
Still, we don't know how many guys are missing.
Down here looking. I got thrown into 2 ambulances. We bolted, we ran.
I never got so many hugs in my life. They were glad to be alive hugs. It was a great thing to know that people were surviving this.
I thought you guys were dead. Not the only one. I thought I was dead.
We lost so much in that 2-hour period.
How you doing, all right?
We felt like we got the hell kicked out of us.
Shot, I don't know what to do, man. Go back down there or what? Fucking get shot. Is everyone okay? You guys were in the building? Yeah.
So many thoughts and emotions, and we got to call our loved ones, tell them we were okay.
You made it out. You just made it out. I'm never so happy to hear my mother's voice.
Little to little, the guys started to come back, one by one. Again, the cameraman would just film.
And it was just like, you heard the ground rumble, and it was just fucking debris was just chasing you. We were running, hauling ass.
So it was just filming them coming back and asking them if they had seen Jules. And nobody could answer this question.
What's up, brother? What's up?
It was extremely frustrating and annoying. One guy from the firehouse came to me and I asked him, you know, have you seen Jules? Do you know where he is? And he looked at me and he said, yes, he's behind you. And I turned over and Jules was there in the firehouse. I didn't even see him coming in. And it was like meeting for the first time.
Écoutez-moi, moi j'étais en vie, je savais pas si tu étais dans le camion.
I asked Jules if he's all right. He tells me yes. He tells me that he was all that time in the lobby.
I never thought I was so happy to meet my brother, that's for sure. cry like babies for about 10 minutes.
C'est pas beau des gens qui sont mauvais. Dès qu'on est arrivé, il y en avait deux qui étaient tombés à travers.
I tell him, I know now what it's like to think you're going to die.
Oh, fuck, man. We're worried about you. You don't know what happened to you guys. Oh, God. Everybody's all right? Everybody's accounted for?
Right here.
You got everybody? Right here. Everybody's accounted for? You all right? What's up, Patty?
I can't believe we all made it out. How did we make it out of that building? 30 seconds, another 2 flights higher. Why am I alive? So many others are dead.
Got down to the lobby and we saw they abandoned the command post. We knew we were in trouble.
We came down. It was much worse than it was when we went up.
Yeah. That's what I hear. Chief Judge?
Right? We went up and they had everything set up. We came down. It was desolate. I was like, holy shit.
We came down to the lobby. It was like the first thing there was. There was nobody there. Where the fuck? What do we do? We made it outside. We made it about a block.
We made it at least 2 blocks, and we started running. Floor by floor, it started popping out.
It was like, it was if they had detonated.
Yeah,
as if they were planned to take down a building. Boom, 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 boom.
All the way down. I was watching it and running.
Just ran up West
And then you just sort of this cloud of shit chasing you down.
Couldn't
Just
outrun
ran
it.
up West Street. I couldn't outrun it. So what'd you do? I jumped behind a battalion car. I hit under the car. I was waiting to die.
The scene here is reminiscent of a nuclear winter.
Right now, everyone is walking around with masks covering their face. There's people just wandering the streets, covered in blood, covered in plaster. They were near the site when the buildings collapsed.
We're about to this 20th floor. We hear this fucking rumbling, and I guess that's when 2 came down. I guess it hit 1, crushed out the Marriott, whatever. We're right. We're fucking dead.
I guess the best way to sum this up is the World Trade Center is no more.
Sit down. The loss of life, one can only imagine, is just enormous. It must be incomprehensible at this point.
They have a fireman's body in house on the floor. They dragged him in, but they can't identify him because the shirt where his name is ripped and it's only half a body.
The building started shaking. I started running, and then by the time I got to the bottom, there was bodies hitting the ground.
Chaplain, we carried out the chaplain. He was dead? It exploded and it all just blew us all in.
The fire department chaplain?
Yeah. Okay. He had no pulse, nothing.
The way we lucked out, we were in 1. 2 fell first, and then they told us to get out.
2 fell first?
2 fell first.
I can't figure this out.
When you guys
It fell while we were in the building.
Yeah. That's why when you guys came out of the building, 2 was already gone.
Yeah,
really?
2 was gone when we came out of 1.
Watch it on the news. 2 fell. 1 didn't fall first.
That's why they were getting us out.
The United States will hunt down and punish those responsible for these cowardly acts.
I'm going to want a list of the New York City firefighters and officers that are willing to go back to work again. Okay, we probably won't be leaving for at least a half hour, but I want to get a list. And then
Yeah, I don't know why myself and the other guys were picked to survive this.
You're going to need masks down there.
In a way, I feel that there must be a reason.
And then we'll leave as soon as we get the order from division.
What am I supposed to do to earn this? It's not easy being a survivor.
Put your head back now, gently. Yeah. Okay?
Oh, that day changed everything.
I think I got fibers in there. You got fibers in there.
When I came back that day to the firehouse, one firefighter came to me and he said, you know, yesterday you had 1 brother. Today you have 50.
It's hard to even describe the emotions in the firehouse that day. On one hand, you celebrate it.
Very frightful day, man. Very happy to be here.
Somehow the guys from our house, they got out.
Everybody come back one by one at the firehouse, except one.
Did you see Tony over there, Benetatos? Tony. Benetatos is the only one that...
Here we were, all accounted for, except for Tony. Everybody was wondering about Tony.
At the same time, we knew hundreds of firefighters, thousands of people had to have died in those towers. And every hour that passed, we were more certain Tony Benetatos was one of them.
Hey, guys, Deputy Chief Hill called. 1st Division, he doesn't want anybody else down here right now. They got 1 million guys that are standing around doing nothing. So it's a direct order from Hill.
I'd come in from home, and yeah, we were ordered to stay at the firehouse. But the truth is, the guys had to go back. Had to start digging for survivors.
That fucking mentality, get in there, get in there, get in there, get the people out. It's bred in you, it's programmed into you.
I had to go back and find the kid.
It's gone, man. 17 down?
I got down there just as 7 World Trade finally collapsed.
Hey, Rick, they've been going live with you the whole...
No sign of Tony anyway. It had to be almost 6 o'clock, 9 hours after everything started, that Tony just walked in.
I walked in like a daze. They were all like, hey, it's Benetatos, you're all right.
What's wrong with your hand, anything? No. No? Yeah. You all right?
Yeah.
Chill out.
How you doing?
You okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. Oh, what happened on your end?
I was in the building.
Were you? Is everyone from the house? Everyone?
Everybody accounted for. Sit down over there, grab some benches. You want something to drink? Want something to eat?
How you doing, Tony? Can I buy a seat there for you? All right?
So everyone's accounted for?
What do you want here?
Everyone who was out at the box?
You was the last one.
You motherfuckers, man. I was so sure you dudes were dead. I'm fucking digging through shit. And you fuckers are chilling here eating oranges? And I'm roaming around looking for you.
The last one that went out there came back, and we were all okay.
I left here right after the first collapse.
Turns out, Tony had been with Larry Burns the whole time, the probie and the retired chief. They were right there when Tower 1 came down.
We go into the various surrounding buildings.
Hello! Let me find the street! Hello! Come to the light!
Trying to calm people down,
Stay where you are. Stay here until you hear different.
directing people to go to the Brooklyn Bridge to get off the island.
Everybody please evacuate the area immediately.
There's people crying, people injured. The one that sticks out in my mind is there's a guy, his arm had gotten like severed here, and he was holding his right arm and his left as he was running. And he was screaming as I was hiking, I need a medic, I got a bad bleed. You know, and that kind of shocked me. We kept going. I checked all the rigs. There were rigs crushed, paramedic trucks covered with rubble, flipped. Fires burning everywhere, huge fires. That whole day, I just searched through rubble, lifting things up, checking underneath.
It was hard for him. It was very hard for him. He's only been a firefighter for, a couple of months. But he proved himself that day to all the guys, yeah.
There was so much that we didn't know about that first day. Who had attacked us, how, why. All we knew is that nothing would ever be the same.
I must have saw about 7 or 8 bodies flying through the air coming from 80 floors up.
And then, of course, the images of the replay that never stops of the planes hitting, the towers coming down. And it was like, okay, enough TV. Thankfully, the power went out about that time, so it was a relief.
Put this generator maybe in the courtyard, and then we'll hook the lights into it. I got 2 more sets of lights coming.
The entire downtown Manhattan lose power. It was really this feeling that we're going to be there for a long time.
At the firehouse that night, we just tried to take it all in.
It's weird, like, look at the date.
911.
That's the date.
But that's just it, the whole thing. They know we're all ready for New Year's Eve. We're all ready for this. We're all ready for that. We're not ready for September 11th.
Has anybody seen the news? What else happened?
You know what? I'm afraid to watch the news.
So both towers are completely level.
Both towers, 3 buildings are
I think they disconnected
completely
one
gone. 4, 5, 6, 7 is gone. They're all gone.
The roof of the Marriott, we were on the roof of the Marriott. There was parts all over the fucking place. Legs, feet. It was nasty.
You all right, brother?
Yeah, I'm all right. One of the things that sticks with me more than everything I saw is I sat down next to Ted. He looked real bad. I said, Tony, man, it was raining bodies. And just the way he said it, man, the man had been through hell.
Good evening. Today, our fellow citizens, our way of life, our very freedom came under attack in a series of deliberate and deadly terrorist acts.
It's a very depressed, dismal, miserable mood. Hundreds of your firemen, thousands of civilians are gone. As quickly as you blow out a match, they're gone. Flip a switch, they're gone. That's it. These buildings came down. Gone.
See them. It's hard to believe they're not there. They're not there.
It was my first reaction.
They're gone.
There is no more World Trade Center.
No.
It did happen, right? It's not something that I'm going to close my eyes and open them again and I'm going to see the tower, right? It's not there. You know, and the only thing you have really, and the only thing that really kept it all together was us as a group, as a body, as a firehouse.
Around midnight, we sent Tony up to lower the flag to half-mast. Again.
There's going to be a lot of pain to deal with in the future. I have a pretty good friend who was in my academy class in my squad, who's among the missing. A lot of guys, we all lost friends and family.
I don't want to ever have to put that thing at half-mast again for the rest of my career. That's it.
Until the recall ends, it's 24 on, 24 off, 24 on, 24 off.
We got word that we'd start digging in the morning. Some of the guys with wives and kids went home, just for a few hours. They knew it might be days before they'd see their families again.
My son was sleeping. I picked him up, and I put him in my bed, and I wanted him to be with me. And normally I would take him out of my bed and put him in his own bed, but this night was the opposite. He didn't mind that. He actually had a big smile on his face, and it was wonderful to see that smile again.
Probably the best entrance I ever made to a place.
And the kids came out, and we just kind of all cried in one big hug. And it was, we just cried.
I got 1 2 athletes right here. Get a couple more guys out here. We'll set up a little line. Okay, just let me climb up there. Keep the 3.5 in the middle so we can...
Came back to the firehouse the next day. I couldn't wait to get back, actually, because I wanted to get down there. I figured, well, we're gonna have plenty of people that are gonna be trapped, for sure. We're gonna get them out. We have to, we always do.
I don't know if anyone's really pulled themselves together.
Focus on what you're doing today. I mean, time enough in a couple of weeks to really take in what happened to our guys. But today, you must focus on what you're doing. Go in teams of 2. One guy falls through a hole, you're gonna have a guy there that knows you fell in that hole.
Take a ride.
We're all alive. That's more than we could have possibly hoped for. So our job now is to go and do whatever needs to be done. And do it as much and as hard as we can for as long as they'll let us.
Some of the guys took a city bus down to what the media was already calling Ground Zero.
You guys got extra surgical gloves? You guys didn't put them in your pockets.
Some firemen called it the pile. For us, it was still the Trade Center, even if it was gone.
Hey, guys, if you hear 3 horns, that means something might be coming down. So keep your eyes open when you're walking around down there.
And I just realized something that I always wanted to deny is how evil can be.
I need 5 firefighters, 19 and 12.
We went down there and formed up companies, 5-man and an officer.
Go! Let's go!
We went to work right away, trying to look for survivors.
Try and get some buckets back here. Buckets!
Guys were digging fast, passing those buckets quick. Digging frantically.
Bucket! Bucket! Hey, watch your back, guys.
We'd be digging, and all of a sudden everybody would say, quiet. And the whole place would get quiet, and people would look.
Hello?
And then slowly they would go back to work and start again. And that's how things went down there.
I remember the first time I went there, it was like, you know, gateway to hell.
You'd never know unless you were there. But the pile itself seemed to have a life of its own. It moved and shifted underneath us. Every step you took, you could fall 30 or 40 feet into a void. It spewed fire when we dug into it and had buried thousands of people beyond our reach.
All we saw was steel, and I didn't know how we were going to get below that. Like, how are we going to find anybody in this?
You know, and you get up on this pile and you're digging with a shovel or you're digging with a pickaxe or something like that. Your attempts seem futile. And, you know, it's like a drop in the bucket.
But you believed in your heart there was somebody down there. And if you could have found one person, you know, that was well worth it.
Need more water!
Whatever risk you were putting yourself at, just to find anybody, that's what drives the guys.
Try and get some buckets back here.
We'd clear what we could by hand. And the iron workers would come in, cut the steel beams, and lift them out. Then we'd just start digging again.
You have 2 110-story office buildings. You don't find a desk. You don't find a chair. You don't find a telephone, a computer. The biggest piece of a telephone I found was half of the keypad, and it was about this big. The building collapsed to dust. How are we supposed to find anybody in this, that there's nothing left of the building?
Bucket!
You find a little spot, and you just keep going and digging and trying to find something. And you find a foot, and then they said the building's gonna collapse, and you run away.
Go, go, go!
Okay. And then we would go back and mostly just dug. We found a body. It was a girl. She was dead. She was definitely dead. All her clothes had been burned off her. She looked to be pregnant. Some people thought maybe she was just bloated, but I don't think so. She was encased in rubble. And we had her about halfway uncovered. We had getting the body bag ready, and then they told us to run. And we ran. So I never got to see if they got her out. It would have felt good saying, all right, at least I got one person out. One family will be able to have a decent funeral.
Our first shift was 24 hours, and in all that time, there was one person pulled out alive. One. It was beyond discouraging. It was even hard to understand. It was weird in a way. Walking back to the firehouse, people were cheering us. But we sure didn't feel like heroes. Every day, total strangers were showing up with supplies.
Somebody said that if you could still use towels, so that's the end of the towels.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
They opened up the doors, and lo and behold, deliveries were coming by the ton.
Kitchen. Or just go right around that corner, just dump them on the floor.
You can't eat all the cookies they're giving you.
No.
I know it's early in the operation here, but I just wanted to thank everyone for all the hard work that they've been doing. How we're here, only God knows. But again, guys, thank you so much. I really, you have no idea how much love I have.
Check the lockers, bro. Check the lockers, all the lockers, take whatever.
It's something special, you know, when guys are relentless. And just going back and forth, guys with nails in their hand, taping it up, gashes, blood everywhere, just taping it up and saying, let's go back, let's see what we can do to make this situation a little better. There's got to be people down there still alive. There has to be.
Listen, we tried to keep hope. And we looked everywhere. We even crawled down into the stores and the subway tunnels underneath the site. But as days turned into weeks, you began to accept. There just wasn't anybody to find. But we never stopped looking.
Hey, Chief.
Yes, sir.
We got another body over here.
Firemen deal with ugly things every day. It's part of the job. But this was worse.
You have that body bag?
Day after day, it pushed guys to their limit, maybe past it.
A lot of guys don't know if they're going to do the job anymore. I know it's either this or the Army now. And I like saving lives. I don't like taking them. But after what I saw, if my country decides to send me to go kill, I'll do it now.
Every night around dinner time, the fire department would put out a list of firefighters confirmed dead. And every night, that list got longer.
It is with regret that the department announces the deaths of the following members. Battalion Chief John P. Williamson. Firefighter William Henry. Firefighter Eric T. Allen. Firefighter Manuel Mojica. Firefighter Lawrence J. Virgilio. Firefighter Timothy Haskell. Firefighter Thomas P. Hannafin. Firefighter John A. Ventura. Firefighter Sean Henry.
We lost so many people that everybody has lost dear friends, and not just one or two, but dozens.
Most days there was a memorial service for some guy you knew. Some days 2 or 3, some days 4. One of those services was for Kevin Pfeiffer, the chief's brother. He was last seen in the stairs of Tower 1, directing guys to the fastest way out of the building.
I would say that Chief Pfeiffer's brother saved my life. Saved a lot of lives.
And I remember walking down West Street and just remembering saying, you know, how much my brother and I used to love being downtown and doing this job. And how now I didn't love it anymore.
Some of the guys hiked up the stairs in a building near the site, but not to put out a fire or rescue civilians. They made the climb to lift our spirits.
It's like our moment in time, our disaster to handle. Every generation's gone through it. Some struggle more than others. We just have to try to take it for what it's worth and go on. As you see, little by little, life is starting to go on.
A few weeks passed, and we got new rigs. Well, used rigs, to replace Engine 7 and Ladder 1. They're still buried in there somewhere, under the pile. Eventually, we started going on runs again.
Feels good, though.
playing pranks again and trying our best to love the job again. But things will never be the way they were.
Every now and then still wonder, is it really true, you know? I know it happened, but I don't know. How do you deal with something like this? It's the 11th every day for me when I wake up. So did you want the new tape?
As for Jules and Gideon, it's strange how things work out. In the beginning, they came to me and they said, let's make a documentary about a boy becoming a man during his 9-month probationary period. Turns out Tony became a man in about 9 hours, trying to help out on 9/11. You know how you can tell that? He's not bragging about it.
It said to Phil. We were the only ones on the ticket. It said to Phil 1075.
Do I feel like it's given me more of a sense of self-worth? Yes. Has it made me a man? No. What's a man? You know, I'll still watch cartoons and do my stupid things. I'm just a person who tries to do good, just like every other person in the fire department.
For the fire department, now it's about rebuilding. Somehow. At our firehouse, we've already got new probies to break in.
You get one chance to make a first impression.
2 guys fresh out of the academy. It's strange to think they'll never know what it was like to be a New York City fireman before September 11th. And they'll never really understand what we lost that day. All we can do is tell them the stories and show them the tape.
The valley is hushed, and the flowers are all dying. The meadow here is white with the winter snow. I stand in the place where Daddy's lying. I say a silent prayer. Somehow I know He hears me there. So soft I thread above him, so now he sleeps in peace. He hears Danny's voice no more. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from Glen to land, and down the mountainside. The summer's gone, and all the flowers are dying. 'Tis you, must go, and I must bide. But come you back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. 'Tis I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, I love you so. And when you come, and all the flowers are dying, and I am dead, as dead I well may be, you'll come and find the place where I am lying, and kneel and say an Ave there for me, and I will hear the soft you thread above me, and on my grave will warmer, sweeter be.